Good morning and welcome to episode 3 here on Comlands, the parallel series with what I now know, at least at time of recording, there's 3 other YouTubers, YouTube channels, and myself running parallel series. This 200 horsepower challenge. If you missed the first episode, go back. It was where I sort of lay out everything, or you can check in the description of this video. You'll see all the kind of parameters of what the 200 horsepower challenge means. Slept in a little bit. It's 7:41. It was so dark up until now, so I figured we'd sleep in. If you recall in the last episode, we sort of cut our silage selling short. So we've got 137,000 liters of silage here in the fermenter, of which we will need to decide what to do with. Also, we planted 2 fields. So we have canola growing here, growing along nicely. Over here, we have the sunflower field. I still have yet to confirm this, but in the first episode, there were some comments back and forth about whether or not the grass grew back on this map. There's some growth here. So I'll be curious to watch this and see what happens. Obviously, it's nothing like this. Right? I mean, this is way longer. Next thing to talk about here, where is this? Water over here. Okay, so this is the field, field 5. Yeah, look at that, standing water. This is the field we were looking at, thinking this would be the next addition. There was like a lake here when I came out earlier. Oh, look. It's like a lake. So I don't know. There's still a lot of field here that can be worked. I mean, basically, this is the edge of the field, right? So this was going to be the field that we bought. It could very well still be the field that we buy because, I mean, we've got all the way over to the trees as far as you know, area that we can work. Look, the water goes all the way into here. It's like there's a underwater spring or something. I mean, we did end the last episode with rain, which, you know, was unfortunate, but there's standing water like all the way over to here. So at 75 grand, $74,665. It's a bargain compared to the 2 fields that we would look at otherwise that have double. This one has standing water on it also from what I saw. So I don't know. I actually had no intention of ever buying this field. And then the more I look at this field, it's making this one look good, but it's twice the amount of money. That one, 178,000. Yikes. Am I going to make a decision on that in this episode? I don't know. I doubt it, but we'll see. I want to show you what I was up to. Spent a couple bucks. So yeah, I did make a couple changes to the, I guess we're going to call this our farm, right? Our little starting farm here. I added another shed to match the first shed. So, so basically all I've spent money on was, did I buy any other equipment? No, I bought this additional shed. So now we have 2 of them. I leveled out some ground here. I put this drive-through shed on the end where I can store. I just figured if we had the trailer loaded with anything and we were, you know, it was nighttime or it was raining, we could park it under there. And I don't have to try to back it in because we all saw in the last episode what happened when I try to back something in. It was a complete disaster. Anyways, hope you got a laugh out of that. After much debate with myself only, I've elected to put in the sell everything container. What I hoped was that the sell everything container was not just going to be the highest price for everything. So I started to go through the entire list of items that you could sell, and in some cases, this is, you know, on par, or if there was like 2 other options to sell something, this was right in the middle. But then there's some cases where it is way off. I want to say like silage was one of them, and it was a significant hit if I sold it here versus taking it all the way up to the store. So it's kind of what I was hoping, that there'd be some choice. You know, it was sort of like weigh out the options. Like, well, you know, do I want it to cost me money to sell here and save myself the drive, or do I want to, you know, make the trek? So it's exactly what I was hoping. So between landscaping, like I think it cost $1,000, but then it did some landscaping itself. So I think it charged me like $1,200 or $1,300 when I placed it. And then I spent another I'll tell you where the expense comes when it comes to landscaping. It's moving dirt. Oh my god, I had leveled and kind of built up the terrain a little bit here, and I think all in all I spent like $3,000 in just in landscaping. So it was not cheap. It was like probably almost $4,000 or $5,000 to put this in, but it'll give us an option anyways. And so I will be double checking each time we go to sell something whether or not this is even a player. And if it's close, we'll sell here. If it's not, then we won't bother. So in today's episode, we're not quite there for silage. Here, I'll show you the pricing. So we'll just scroll down to silage. Yeah, see here, animal dealer, $689. Sell everything container, $672. We're right in the middle. And then the animal feeding, which is also up at the main shop. So in the case like this, I would definitely just come to the sell everything container and sell it there rather than going up to town. But at $672, we're like $50 per 1,000 liters off. We have about 130,000 liters of silage in the fermenting silo right now. So if we sold all of it right now and took that $50 hit for every 1,000 liters, it would cost us a total of $6,500 to sell it now versus wait. So that's $6,500, quite a bit. But we would be getting 672 times 130. We'd be getting 87,000. So it's definitely a hit. But $87,000. At $87,000, we could do a lot of things. Very tempting, very tempting. Well, so we know it's not going to get any worse. The one thing that I find very odd on this map, and I'm hoping maybe somebody can let me know what they think. Everything is listed on this. You get like everything. You scroll through here, donuts, all the wood products, strawberry ice cream, bonsai trees, watermelons, dirt. Like I can sell dirt. So like I said, everything is listed on here, but what's not listed on here, oddly enough, is wood. So nowhere, I have no idea how much wood is worth. The only way I can find out how much wood is worth is obviously by selling the wood. That doesn't seem right. Anyways, no big deal. Okay, so here's what I was thinking about how we would want to start our day. I think what we're going to do is head up to the store. Oh, actually, sorry, head up to the store. We're going to have the store deliver the luxury that we have at 2.5%. Well, I'm still at 2.5%. I'm pretty sure somewhere I can change the 2.5% to what I think I'm going to do is change it to 5%. But I don't know where to do that. So if somebody can also let me know that, then that would be cool. I'll keep researching it. So maybe by the 4th episode, if I figured it out, then that's what'll happen. It'll be 5%. But in the meantime, I'm just going to buy as much as I possibly can. Just kidding. I'm going to buy what I can in order to kind of move us along here. So I'm going to buy I want to get the loader arm and the forks right now. So step 1 is to grab a chainsaw. All right, so we got that. Obviously the store doesn't have to deliver that. The question on my mind right now is, which loader arm do I get? Is it the 5 or the 6? I know there are cheaper options when it comes to forks. And I probably should be using like log forks or whatever, but I've never had an issue with these forks where it seems like each time, and it's probably my own fault, mod conflicts, whatever, but it seems like often enough when I go to use like an aftermarket or like a different kind of fork, I have issues. So, and today we're going to be using the one that I know works for me. Anyways, so all right, let's get this thing. Let's hope this is the right size. I went with the 5. Oh yeah, I think as long as you can lift yourself, then you know you can make contact with the ground. The worry is that you're going to get forks that are too, or you're going to get arms that are too short. Yeah, that's good. And don't reach the ground. Anyways, okay, so what we're gonna do right now is go cut a tree down. Let's cut a tree down and we will see what it's worth, because I have no clue what wood is worth. I was gonna just try to grab one down here that was nice and close, but we'll go further so we don't have to potentially die. Let's play it really safe. We'll go down here. Okay. I don't want to land in the crops. I don't want to roll the tractor. If I roll the tractor, we'll be selling silage by hand. I do have the lumberjack mod on. I will be frying the tree stumps here so I don't have to deal with them. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. The other thing the lumberjack mod will do is tell me what 6 meters is, and I understand 6 meters is the key, right? Yeah, even there. Hopefully these will just roll down. Eventually, maybe we'll be able to just eyeball 6 meters. It's a good thing I left that staging area at the bottom there, because we'd be rolling logs into our crops otherwise. All right, let's take one. It's just the one that was on the base. Let's take the fattest 6 meter log. Can I go by weight? I mean, this thing's almost 700 kilograms, right? So let's see what an almost 700 kilogram pine, I think the pine log, is worth. And then we'll sort of keep track and see what that whole tree is worth, and then maybe we'll have an idea of what we're in for here. So I think that well, I mean, I can basically just log here and use the forks to deliver to the sell everything container over here. I don't have to take I don't necessarily need a trailer to take it all the way up to the town. One thing though that I think I want to do is get the winch, because I don't want to drive this tractor all the way up the mountain there, with the risk of rolling it over. So I think though I would back it up a ways and then winch the logs, drag them down. $1,200. All right, let's see what this thing's worth. Yeah, see, these forks are awesome. No surprises. Everything works the way you want them to. The fit and finish is good. Like, they look good on the tractor. I find there's some where, you know, like they don't even look like they're connected to the arms. Yeah, this just looks like it works. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so this is the entire tree. So we were $1,200 for the first piece. So $2,800 for that tree. So we need to cut down 100 trees. Let's go. Kidding. $2,800 for a large pine, I guess. Actually, you know what? For safety, as you can see, I have my beacon on, so I'm all about safety. I think we're going to buy the winch right now, because I don't want to have to maneuver on that hill and risk rolling. Right? Winch can be used for dragging logs out of the woods. That's what we want to do. Yeah, so the plan is to bring the logs down to the staging area and then cut them into manageable lengths that I can then bring over here. I got the loader arms now. I can actually move those bags out of the way too. Anyways, yeah, that's the plan. All right, what do we got there? We got 6, 7, 8. Didn't even count. Too busy trying to keep them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seemingly around what, 15 grand, something like that, I guess. One thing that I have a real hard time with are logging or like forestry time lapses because I find there's so much direction change with the camera that it can be a bit disorienting or just extremely shaky. It's hard to make it nice and smooth. So we want 6 meters. I'm not going to measure all these now because the rest of them are all pretty close, but we'll just eyeball the rest of them. I think I cut that one twice. Up there. I have my default like strength set to I can't pick up anything over 100 kilograms. I think you have 2 options in the game, 100 or 200. So I've got it set to 100. So you'll see that I'm not picking up a lot of stuff. Like normally I can pick those little trees up and just carry them away, but they're all about 120 kilograms. So usually you can only carry like 3 of these at a time. And if one's off a little bit, the other ones tend to, they sort of use their weight and push everything in place. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack a bunch of them up on the grate. And then that one's going to fall for sure. We'll stack a bunch up and then we'll sell them all at once. But yeah, I definitely felt a lot better too, backing up that hill and just attaching the winch that way rather than trying to drive up the hill to get anything with the forks, right? Just cut it up there and then bring it down before you chop it up into the proper size. I think that was kind of a winning idea. Especially once we get up into the higher ones. And then also we have a number of trees anyways, they're not logs yet, but the free logs that are on the hillside by the crops, right? Because what I don't want to do is, I don't know if I can drag a tree across the crops. I don't think that will destroy the crops, but obviously driving across the crops is not a good plan.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long till I'm back at the farm. I'm pulling up the truck down at the dock. It's time to do some cruising, baby, get a little stuck. It's a Saturday joyride, Percy Beast is the spot to take the blues away. We're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. There's a party on the water, it's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time, in our own honky tonk with a bottle of wine. We're going up, we're coming down. Cheers to feeling alright, it's a hell of a time. A hell of a time. Yeah, we're chilling out here, ladies in the rear, our feet in the water, our top disappears, drinking Malibu Patron or a beer in a cup. Girl, I can hook you up. We all get to dance and I get to chancing, kissing that country girl, romancing, a whole lot of love, bumping out of the bar. Yeah, we're on a boat, we're feeling fine, drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up.
All right, I don't think I'm going to push my luck. I think we're going to sell this bunch here. If everybody saw that bit of drama with the loader arm there, that was a little sketchy. Anyways, what's this worth? 10 grand. See if these loader arms are going to go back on. That was wild. They got stuck and then sent me on a bit of a ride. I had no choice but to release them. All right, they seem like they're working well. As I'm driving back and forth here, bringing these logs over, I'm thinking, what am I even doing this for? And then I was reminding myself that I ultimately we want to buy some more property so I can put it in another field, likely a field of grass, because if the rumors are true and grass does not grow back, then I want to make sure that we have something. I want to make sure we have a bit of an opportunity to grow grass so we can keep that fermenter working. but and obviously when we buy the next field, we're gonna get to mow it anyway, so we'll get that sort of initial cash shot there. But yeah, we need, as we know, I need at least $74,000 for the lot next door. I've got some work to do if we're gonna get there. I'm gonna have to cut down a lot of trees. Am I tempting fate here again? That's the problem with this. You always go for that last little bit and then everything goes rotten on you. The other thing would be, so eventually I'd like to get it's not working. Eventually I'd like to get a sawmill going, because the furniture sales and all the wood products are worth so much money. But I don't know that we're going to have enough wood to justify it. I mean, I guess in reality, we just cut down, what did I say, 6 or 7 trees there, and we're already into 10 grand. You know, we're probably going to be 20 grand by the time we sell the wood that came out of those trees. And we have quite a few trees up there, so we could, and a sawmill is only $10,000 really for that one kind of basic. Is it even base game? Maybe that one sawmill. I'm using it in Hinterland, so if you want to go over and check that out, and then let me know what you think of that one. Because there's some expensive ones. Like there's a really cool one from the Platinum Edition, I guess is what it was, right? When Silver Run came out. It looks cool, but I think it's like $100,000 versus 10 grand. I've cut down and moved so many trees this way. I couldn't even count. Anyways, this might be a moment to catch up with you once I've got that sell point loaded here, so that we're not taking all day, taking all of your time. Really, it's hard logging. Logging's a hard one to record because, like I said, the time lapses can be pretty jerky. The way there's so much movement going on, and you know, you'd be sitting here watching me do this for hours otherwise. All right, so that is 11.5 for that load of silage. So I'll just fill you in. I was working along here and didn't realize I had the recording paused, of course. So we sold the rest of the logs that we had over there and made about, basically all in, we made about $19,000 out of those. I'm gonna say 6 or 7 logs. I already forgot how many I counted. So we decided to pause that activity and haul some silage into the sell point here, because I really would like to get that field bought, the one right there, number 5. I want to get the field mowed, and I want to get the grass into the fermenter, because I'd like to get something planted there, and I don't know when we're going to see snow here or anything, so got some stuff to think about there. But yeah, I've opted maybe it's sort of the big logging jobs. Like I got to cut 100 trees down really to make to make a lot. So I'm not a fan of the collision on that shed. So rather than putting you through a pain, like it's painful to watch a logging time lapse. Like it's not fun because there's just so much movement. So rather than putting you through that, I figure I'll just do some off-camera logging. We will do some logging episodes, but I just don't think this is going to be one of them, especially when I do want to get that field bought. And we have silage to sell right now. Trying not to tip that trailer. Took that corner a little bit too tight, probably. Anyways, I figured we needed to sell about 4.5 or 5 loads of silage here at the container in order to generate the income we need, which was like $75,000 for the purchase of that field over there, number 5, the one with the small lake on it. I feel like I'm kind of getting ripped off the fact there's a lake on it, but we'll know really what's going on once we get all the grass off of it. Yeah, see, if I was playing this without all the lights and cameras and the YouTube verse, I would just spend all day probably cutting trees down and then see where I was at after that. but it doesn't necessarily make for good TV, if you know what I'm saying. And if we're limited to one month per episode, and 1 day per month, then I'm going to make the most of it, I think, here. All right, so we need about another half load. I might as well. Yeah, so we're gonna end up with 81,000 liters here. 82 or $83,000. But it'll leave us a couple of dollars in our bank accounts. Other than the fact that pull through is so stinking annoying when the collision drags the camera into the shed. It's working out pretty good. Well, this is a little treacherous here too. I gotta move those bags. I didn't have the loader arms in the last episode. Perfect. All right, let's call the realtor. $74,665. We are owners. And it'd be great if the theories were wrong and grass does grow back. So let's, we're going to be able to take a good look at how short the grass looks once we mow it here and compare it to what we have over on this side. Like, does it look like what I'm on right now? Or does it end up looking more like this? Let's see. Okay, so we don't want to mow the lake. This puts us right on the edge of the property. I'm not mowing through that. I think I caught the edge of that. Almost like the water runs from the hill over here down a bit of a, like you can see it's almost like a bit of a valley here. Runs down into that little pond. Anyways, it's not like I shouldn't complain. We are going to be able to get a decent amount of grass off of here. Well, those trees actually aren't on the property. That's kind of stingy. Those are actually outside the property line. I think once we pick up the grass, yeah, it's going to be that flat. I think some of the grass was growing back. Maybe it doesn't grow back all the way. That's maybe what was happening. Or it was a rumor. I think it was in the chat when Crustu posted his first episode as a premiere. I want to say it was Rusty Money that mentioned he had thought he had heard that grass doesn't grow back on this map, so you have to plant the grass. I mean, I'd rather not plant the grass. I think I even made a comment in the sort of chat on that premiere that I was so used to Valley Springs where grass is like armpit deep and you know, you're just blessed with nonstop. It's like it grows overnight, just keeps coming back. So to go onto a map that doesn't happen, it'd be a little bit jarring, but anyways.
Bumping out of the bar. Yeah, we're on a boat, we're feeling fine. Drinking Tennessee whiskey, a big blue sky. We're going up, we're coming down. Here's the feeling, alright. It's a hell of a time. We're on a boat, we're killing time. In our own honky tonk, meet the big blue sky. We live it up, we got it down. Here's the feeling, alright. It's a hell of a
our last pass pretty much here. A little bit of scraps we got to pick up, but yeah, like check that out. I got all the way around the wet spot, and yeah, it's pretty substantial. It's a good chunk of this field that really is not usable because of that pond. I'm wondering if we use the landscaping and kind of depress the land there, will it turn into a lake? Because if that's like an underground spring or something, then it's quite possible we could just make it make our own lake, which I mean is useless, but at least it'd be a lake. Like it's not like we can turn that into something profitable. Put some cabins around it, sell some timeshares. I guess that's pretty much the only thing you could do. Yeah, and kind of a funny field too, the way it kind of loops up on both sides of the back. It doesn't have any trees. I don't know. Was this a good purchase? Maybe not. We have a lake, we have hills, and we have no trees. So at least we can put some. We can plow it. I guess is really the only thing we can do. And I'm gonna have to plow around the lake. Amazing. We've put some hours on this tractor, and it so far requires nothing for maintenance or service. Is that just because I'm used to only buying old crappy tractors on every time I play this game, and now I actually have a new tractor, so it's going to take a while for it to break? Oh, did I mention at the beginning of this episode? So this is episode 3 now, and I like basically episode 1 and 2 were recorded like back to back. This episode here is recorded the day of and sort of the evening of the first episode that I posted. So I'm recording episode 3 on that day. So I was able to watch so far only Crustu's episode to see what field he got and sort of what his thinking is and how he's going to go about this. I've yet to see Rusty Money Gaming's first episode to be able to comment on that at all. And then, sorry, I was trying to stay in line here. And then we also, the other, there's a third, other than myself, there's a third, or I guess a fourth YouTube channel, Gaming Joy, who is also recording a series. So kind of an interesting guy to watch some of his videos and live streams. Seems that he's got some modding experience too, which is really cool. Something I'd love to be able to do, but honestly, my I don't know. I know this is gonna sound bad, but my brain, I don't want to put anything else in it. I like, not to mention just trying to find the time to be able to do that kind of stuff. I'm not very computer savvy to understand how to code or understand really anything like that. So as much as I would absolutely love to be able to make things, like for example this windrow right here, I would love to make, like I was complaining about not having any options, right? So you know, in my previous life, my sort of bulk of my career working life was in an industry, and I would always employ people, build teams, that kind of thing, and when anybody would come to me with to complain about something without some idea how to fix it, or at least any idea or something, they didn't need to know how to fix it, but they at least had to have some ideas. I always had an issue with that. And so here I am complaining about this mod, and I don't have a fix for it. But so I'd love to be able to mod and make my own, but I just can't do that because I don't know how to mod. But anyway, so I'm saying I can't do it. I probably could learn, but I'm just not going to do it. So anyways, I think it's kind of cool that he also mods. I'll be curious to see how he attacks this. So by now, actually, you'll have seen whatever his first episode said. It's probably second episode 2, my guess. But so it sounds like he's starting in, I think he told me through Discord, one of the top corners of the map. Wondering if, so it's kind of funny, maybe it'll be starting in the complete opposite corner of where I am. We're down here in the basement, folks. So I had to take a quick break from filming here for a second because I need to feed the dog and let her out. And as I was staring out the window, actually, as I was watching highlights from the Detroit Supercross, which were more like low lights. What a disaster that race was! What a big mess. Good for the people that succeeded, but big crash at the beginning of the 250 race. And anyways, it was looked like a big mess. But anyways, I was watching that. I started thinking, you know what, maybe I can pack a ton of stuff into this episode. It doesn't necessarily all have to be on camera. So we're gonna we'll get this, you know, in my normal rambling way. We're gonna get through this, putting these rows together here. We'll get the grass picked up and put into the silo there. Could I be so ambitious and we'll obviously know the answer when this is all done, but could I be so ambitious to get a field cut and like prepped and planted? I wonder if I could get that done all in this one go here. It would likely mean some substantial jump cuts, because I don't want to create a 2-hour episode, although maybe you want a 2-hour episode, but it would require that, I think, and then it would probably just knock me out. But I'm not playing 3 hours of farming sim can be a little painful, but man, we could get a lot done. And then when we rolled into November, somewhere between October and November, if I did cut down 100 trees, what did we say? 7, let's say 6 trees was like, well, I don't know. Let's be 7 trees. Let's say was $18,000. So 70 trees would be like $180,000. Is that kind of how that works? And think of the field we could buy with $180,000. Not to mention we'd be able to, even if we didn't end up buying another field, but although we should, it'd be great to buy another tractor, and then we could start using workers to do some of the mundane stuff. Like, you know, I don't always want to have to plant the field. We could set a worker up and get them to plant the field. Do I need to worry on a map like this, though, that the worker, I'm going to set them and they're going to ignore the boundary of the field and just keep on going? Is that an issue? I mean, obviously it would be an issue, but is it something I should be concerned with? But yeah, I'd love just a big infusion of cash, and maybe the only way to do that would be to hit pause on the recording and just go nuts, and then check in at the end and show you what I did. Because then ideally we end up with, well, field, I think, what's the one in front of us? 23 is it? It's about 150 grand. So, you know, if I cut down 70 trees, and we I probably need to get a logging trailer for that. But if I cut down 70 trees and we end up with 170 or 180 grand or 200 grand or whatever, we could buy that field and still have 50 grand left over, and we'd have a ton more silage on the go because I could mow it. Oh my god, we'd be set. My concern is that we're gonna I don't want to find a situation where we've run out of money and we're now have to wait for something to grow. I'd like to be able to continue doing things. It is quite possible to make mistakes in this game and find yourself in a situation where you can no longer make money. Like if all I did was cut down trees and never invest in things like growing crops, for example, then yeah, that could make for a painful life. You want to have stuff growing all the time. I think I'd also like to plant some trees, but that definitely, like if I got those sapling backpacks, but they definitely don't grow quickly, right? One of the things that we could keep our eyes open for in the used market would be a combine. What was that in Hinterland, actually, if you're watching that? When I finally do manage to invest in a harvester, it was the used market, and a score and a half basically is what enabled me to get that harvester. It was just a great episode there where I managed to scoop that thing. I think it was that in a trailer. They were so cheap. So if we saw something like that happen here, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I really think I could make a lake. All right, so that's all done. Everything's in rows. When we go back over there with the forage wagon, I'm going to we're going to compare the mowed grass that we have now versus what I think is starting to grow back and what we mowed the other day, and then we'll be able to kind of see whether or not we should be concerned that grass doesn't grow back here. I'm thinking it does grow back, but maybe it doesn't grow back much. This is the grass here that we mowed 2 episodes ago, and this is where we mowed. This is what we just mowed. So there's definitely a difference between what we mowed in the first episode and what we mowed just now, and I'm assuming that's because it's growing back. So obviously time will tell. We'll watch to see just how much it grows back, and then how quickly it grows back. It may take forever. All right, I'm wondering how much grass we're gonna get off this dinky little field with the lake. Oh, I gotta... Dude, I didn't unfold this thing. It's all folded. Are we only gonna be able to... Let's see if we can take the full 13,000 liters, or it's gonna look kind of silly. Yeah, it's gonna go to 13,000 liters, but I don't have the top of this extended. Okay, well, I mean, that's 13,000. I'm guessing every 3 rows will be 13,000. So maybe we're gonna get... Do we get 100,000 liters maybe? I don't know. I'm not keeping track, so we'll just see how much is in the silo, the fermenter when we're done. Let's look now, and then we'll see if I can remember. I doubt I will, but we'll even get this. There's no grass in there right now. Everything we put in there is like everything was silage already. So I guess we'll just remember there was about 50,000 liters of silage when we started this. So that'll enable it, because as we're putting grass in here, obviously some of it's going to be turning into silage. So I'm debating on what to do. I'm still thinking that we just go ham here and plow, of which I would likely not put you through that. I may include a bit of it, but maybe we just check in when it's pitch black again at the end of the day. We try to sneak in the plowing before the month is done. How much was that? That was about 3,200 liters in that one row. But yeah, I think if I can get this field plowed, then when we roll into, I guess we could roll into November and then plant something. I don't like. Am I going to run into a situation without seasons on? Am I going to run into a situation where harvest pops up and there's snow? And does anybody know exactly how much snow this map gets? I have snow on. Does it even get snow? Maybe it doesn't even get snow. Here, let's look. Ready for this? Remember, there was 50,000 liters, so we got about 148,000 liters off that little square patch over there. That's not bad at all. And yeah, I'm thinking about pulling a bit of an all-nighter here and getting a field in there around our little lake. Obviously, I can tell you one thing. I am almost certain that I'm going to be dumping that spreader and replacing it with something that actually has some working width. Probably replacing it with the one I should have bought in the first place. That dropper, as we coined it, was a piece of crap. Sorry, it probably serves a purpose, but not what we need. All right, let's grab the smallest plow on earth and go rip some earth. Yeah, so we got to figure out what we want to do for a field. I think what I'm going to do is definitely run up the edge here. Probably somewhere about... Am I in the zone? I'm in the zone. Yeah. Probably run it up here. I still want to leave that kind of landing area there for the logging. But we can have a laneway here between the two fields that I can bring the logs up, but I want to kind of leave that area over there so that we can drag the logs down and cut them up. Funny, actually, I just had that comment on the first episode, like, because I'm filming the third episode and I just posted the first one today. But I had a comment suggesting that I grab a I'm watching the mini map there. I had a comment suggesting that I grab a winch and drag the logs down so I could work on them in that staging area. Those I just chalked that up to one of those great minds think alike thing. As we both came to the same conclusion that would be a good idea. I'm thinking I'd want to still maybe make two fields here, even if they end up being the same thing. I like the idea of having the option to plant different things. I'm not. I think it's Daggerwind. Sometimes we'll plant two crops in the same field. I don't know. I think I'd get confused. We'll just take it up to where we cut, because I know that obviously where we've mowed, I've not seen any standing water, so I don't know if that expands though when it rains. If it does, that'll be really annoying. I guess it'd be cool if they put like tiling in the game where you dealt with wetlands, and then you could come in and tile it to make it usable. That'd be kind of cool. Although I don't believe you're supposed to tile and drain your wetlands, but I guess it's one way to expand your farming ability, your farming capabilities. All right, did somebody order a marathon session? I don't know if you made out the area here, but I opted to just keep on going. I figured, you know what the hell, let's just plow out this entire section that we just bought, and then we'll plant it. I will be doing a little bit of research before the next episode to see if I want to understand seasons a little bit better, because I don't know how long crops take to grow, and then I don't know what happens if it's snowing or anything like that. So well, we'll figure out the best use for this newly plowed field. Perhaps between episodes I may dump the dropper and buy something else to spread lime and make our lives a little bit easier. We'll see about what I do there. But anyways, yeah, so this, as worst case, this field will just be grass, and this will be our grass field that we baby. So, you know, it'll always be fertilized. It'll always get everything it needs. You know, short of maybe rolling it. I don't see us buying a roller anytime soon, but we'll make sure that this if it is grass, we're going to take care of it. If it's another crop, obviously we're going to take care of that too. But worst case is this will be a grass field. Once I'm done here, we'll take a good overview just to see. Still very unfortunate that middle section there is water, but you know what? I mean, it gives it a little bit of character, I guess, if you really wanted character. Character equals pain in the backside, but that's all good. Maybe, we'll see some frogs or some turtles or something. Are you like me? Like sometimes when I have a section like this, I'm like, oh, maybe I can get it. I end up chasing both sides, and then I end up having to come back twice because I just do a strip in the middle and don't get and I miss both sides. Me. Anyways, yeah, so the little challenge here with the hills on both sides, the way they go up, definitely create a bit of a challenge. I was able to pull a plow up there. I really wanted to test it so that way I could see, what all other issues we may have in the future. We know we can pull the forage wagon up there. I'm pretty sure I pulled it up full at one point. So it's manageable, the hill. Yeah, look at this. It's nice, nice dirt. So this is definitely a bigger field than the other two. Maybe if you took the other two and combined them, they'd be bigger than this, but I don't know. I don't know what the overall size is, but yeah, this is pretty good. So we're gonna buy the field data for this. Maybe we'll have better soil than we had in the last go around. I don't know. I'm looking at the mini map at the bottom, and I'm basically just trying to make sure that everything is brown. Of course, not the water. It looks like we missed just a little bit at the top here, so I'm just going to take a quick run up to the top, expand it a little bit, which is understandable because I can see from here I came in a little bit at the end. I'm not going to go any higher. We'll just leave it there. Okay, yeah, so here, there's the field. He's a beaut. And once we get that field 23 bought, then we'll be able to take, I don't think we'll take this all the way over to the road, but there'll be space to shoehorn another field in there, and then we'll have some 4 kick-ass fields that can do some growing for us. I was thinking as I was driving around, one of the things that we're going to have to do, I'm not going to just live on, look at that, it's like a swamp. I'm not just going to live in a tent with some little sheds. We're going to pick a farm pack. Maybe we'll pick like the white farm pack, or was it Lancy Boy had the old farm or American farm pack or something. We'll pick that and we'll build out a proper farm at some point here, which I think would be kind of cool. I want to find a decent flat area. It may be when we buy 23 here. Here, let's just go over here. It's possible that, kind of in this, everything kind of slopes a little bit, but it's possible in this area here we may want to put a farm in. Be kind of cool. Let's go look at this. Where I thought I saw standing water over here. Is that part of the field? It's not part of the field. See that little mini pond lake that was showing in the reflection there? That's on the next field. Nope, there's another one. I see it coming up. But yeah, this would be a big field, a big piece of land anyways, because it would go all the way over to the field we just plowed, and then basically over to the road. We'd be doing some farming. Yeah, so in here's more standing water. What does that mean? Do these expand, or like, does somebody know what that means on this map? Look at it. There's something I should be watching out for besides rusty gear because we're driving through puddles. All right, yes. So between now and the next episode, we likely will have that field lined. Perhaps we'll have a new piece of equipment because I don't want to deal with the dropper. Could potentially have a stack of logs here getting ready to, basically waiting for you guys so I can just push them onto the sell point, onto the grate there and get them sold so you can enjoy that part of forestry with me, where you make big bucks, and then I'll know what we're going to be doing as far as what we're going to put into that new field. I'll know by that point what we're gonna focus on, and then we'll do that. Yeah, and this would make episode 3. It's funny, I'm not used to it, it feels like we're sort of progressing here, and I mean the majority of the time, well, Valley Springs is different because I sort of played that concept a little different, but I think once I have to start paying off the loan in Valley Springs, things are going to get a little bit painful. They're going to be painful, I think, once we gotta start paying the bank back. But primarily playing like starting from scratch, or starting with nothing kind of gameplay. This is different because we've obviously we have stuff. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know if you're expecting more or less, but that's what I'm going to call an episode. We went on a bit of a tour. We did some logging. We sold some silage. We bought a field. We mowed the field. We got all the grass off the field, and then I plowed it. So, I mean, that's quite a bit of work for one person in a day, I think. Perfect. Okay, that's that. So I'm gonna tuck this away. We're gonna go crawl into our stupid tent, take a nap, and then I may wake up in the middle of the night and go back to work. We'll see. But with that, I will bid you farewell. I do appreciate you watching. Okay, so this is, sorry, one last thing. This is posting on a Saturday, I think. This is episode 3. I believe this is a Saturday. So the next episode will be on the Tuesday, as I do my best to adhere to a schedule. That's it. Okay, thanks so much. See you later.